Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano video, and as it's Monday, we'll take a look at the Cardano native asset market, see what's going on, what tokens are on the move, what is some of the reasons behind that, and some of the stats in and around Cardano trading. We'll also look at Chat GPT and the recommendations for this week and how last week performed. I didn't get to do anything on the automation yet, but hopefully over the next few weeks when things calm down a bit, then I'll be able to get something out on that side. If you get value, please do share it out, give the video a like, comment questions or anything down below, and let's jump into it. Okay, before jumping into Taptools and the new features that Taptools have brought in, they have taken a lot of user feedback on board and added in a few features that I really like. We'll take a look at the overall market. If you look here, Bitcoin is down 0.6% for the week, not really doing a huge amount. Ethereum down just under 4%, BNB is up, Solana is down. Some of the Solana stuff might be in around the validators, and some of the validators being malicious and using MEV. The Solana Foundation have come out and said they're going to stop supporting people who are identified as this, and have put out a list of ones that have been, that they are now not going to be delegating to. Maybe I'll do a video on that if people are interested in MEV and sandwich attacks. XRP down 4, Doge down 10, Ton up nearly 6%, and Cardano down 3% for the week. So let's see what native assets look like. And actually, before we look at the overall market, let's take a quick look at the dexes. So if we look for the last 7 days, you can see min swap is nearly 70% of the overall volume on Cardano, still going through min swap. I think that might be down slightly from last week, but overall still fairly dominant. And if you come all the way down the bottom here, you can get the detailed breakdown on this. Dex volume for MinSwap, 41 million ADA. I have got access to the beta for V2 and it does look good. I haven't got to put any content together on it yet. I need to do a bit more testing and give feedback, but overall I'm looking forward to that one going out public on mainnet too. If you look at users then, so Spectrum, in terms of volume, Spectrum will be second, Sunday V3, third Vi Finance, Wing Riders and Sunday V1 then. But if you look in terms of users, you will see that actually Wing Riders would be number 2 if it was based on users. And I personally think this is in around what they've done with their DEX fees. By reducing the DEX fees for smaller transactions, it means people are going there for smaller transactions because you pay smaller batcher fees as compared to some of the other DEXs. Now, Sunday V3 have fairly small batcher fees, probably smaller than any of the Wing Riders ones at the minute. Splash also will have really small batcher fees when they start adding in more tokens into it. So this probably will change, but for me, it's probably the reason right now you're seeing the users are smaller on some of the other dexes, but they're higher in volume. So people are trading bigger amounts over on the likes of Spectrum, Sunday V3 or Vi Finance. We are still missing AXO on this, so if AXO was in here, the numbers would look slightly better. I've been told they would probably come in around second or third right now with the volume that's ongoing on AXO. Now, volume does seem to be down today compared to some of the other days, but if you look here for the last 24 hours, then RS has just over 500,000 ADA. You have SNEC with just over 300,000. You have Sunday with 200,000. 200 on EMP and World Mobile, and all the way down. So over 1 million worth of volume in 24 hours there on AXO. So if you add that in, maybe you get up towards the 10 million for the, it still doesn't give the option here. I think we will see it fairly soon, the option to get the overall stats of what's going on AXO. But as a rough calculation, maybe you're looking at 10 million ADA worth of volume for the last week over there. If that was the case, it would put it in here around number 2. Now that's me doing very rough calculations on that. So if we then go and look at the homepage, there is some nice changes that are put in here. You might remember last week I talked about this part here. This is what it looked like with the updated, and I showed how to hide it in the code, and I was saying I would like to see that being hidden. So the team has been watching and they have hidden this. I'm not saying watching me. I'm sure there was other people suggested it too, but it's nice to see here. I think that cleans it up a little bit there. And one thing I really do like here is the customize option. So if I come in, you can see here these headings might look different to yours, and that's because they're the ones that I've personally chosen that I want to look at. But you can come in here and you can look at all of these different things, add them in if they're the ones that you want to see what's going on. And look, depending on what type of research I'm doing, sometimes I'll have different headings up, but as an overall view of what I want to see in general, these are the ones that I personally look at the most. So looking at obviously volume, price, 24-hour, 7-day and 30-day change. The liquidity is still important, but with order book dexes coming in even more now, then not just the only factor to consider when you're looking at liquidity, because sometimes order books might be able to give you a better price rather than looking just purely at AMM dexes. TXs and makers, really nice figures to have. Unfortunately, I would love to see these figures a lot higher than they are, but you can see here what's going on. So TXs is the number of swaps happening on that trade pair in the last 24 hours. Makers then is the unique individuals or the unique wallets making them trade. So 95 wallets made 253 trades on AGIX in the last 24 hours. If you look at holders then, nice one to keep an eye on if you're looking at a token or the trend of a token overall. The holders in 7 days and 30 days, something I like to keep track of. Is a project growing in user base, or are they starting to lose followers? And then you circulating supply, because if there's a really small circulating supply, then sometimes you have to be very aware of that and how much tokens are going to come into the market over the next few months or years if you are looking to invest into it long term. So on this here, what I would generally do is come in here, have a look over the last 7 days. You can see Wi-Fi have gained 196 token holders, and Copy have gained 183. But what would actually be a nice feature to have too would be the percentage. So how much has it increased in the last, say, 7 days or 30 days? So that would be how much is 196 on top of the 11,000 they already had. Because you can see here for Copy, obviously it's a smaller increase compared to Wi-Fi, and the percentage increase will be even smaller again with already having 34,000, but would be nice to see. And then you look at when projects are losing token holders, you look at LenFi lost 113. So to be able to see the percentage, is it 1%, 2%, 10% that a token is losing? Then you start to, if you're starting to lose kind of 5% plus of your holders in a week, then you need to be very aware of what's going on and look behind it and see what the reasons are. Getting a bit sidetracked with everything that Taptools have here for today, but look, we can do a dedicated video if people are interested in how I use it, how I dive into different tokens and what's going on there. So if we come back and order this, you have AGIX still number 1, WMT number 2. The token conversion is happening this week for AGIX to ASR. I haven't seen how you do it from the Cardano side yet. Once I do, I will share that out. You have SNEC in at number 3, Meld, Copy, IAG, NTX, Min, Buck and Indie making out the top 10, and LenFi at number 11. And again, them two kind of change around all the time, and everything else is a bit further down the field. If you're interested more in the visual side, then you can take a look at ADA Markets. A lot of big updates coming for ADA Markets this week. We're hoping to get a release out before the end of the week. Lots of new features, lots of improvements to what's there already, as well as a few new dexes being thrown into the mix. Final testing right now, and we'll hopefully get that out in the next few days. But there's the visuals for anyone interested, and you can check that out at app.ada.markets/bubbles. And if you see any of these that you see CNCT is down so much, you can click on it, see what the actual chart looks like, what the trend looks like. If you're interested, then you can go in, click on swap, and go in and do your swaps there too. Coming back to Taptools, if we look at the last 7 days, SOC is up 17.8, nearly 18% for the last 7 days. It had been way down, and actually if you look at volume, then I wouldn't really be counting or reading too much into it when the volume is so small. You have NVL up 11% again in the last 24 hours. Volume isn't all that much. Might be nice to see volume over 7 days. I might be asking for a lot here with all of these features. Charlie 3 up 6-7% for the week. Only 5,000 ADA worth of volume in the last 24 hours. So again, not a huge amount of volume. Mint, Copy, and NTX are the next gainers. In terms of down, you have AGIX with the conversion happening this week. It's down 17.7, so some people might be moving across or selling out to get other assets to wait and see what the conversion is. This one here, I think it shouldn't be here. You can see there's only been one trade on it. So one trade was able to make this change in 24 hours in volume, so we'll ignore that. Axo down nearly 14%, Gens down just over 13, Hunt down 12, Neum down 10, and Snek down 10. Snek is one of the few that's down on the week but still well up in the 30 days. And actually next is Fren, which is another meme coin, up 47% for 30 days and down for the last week. That's about it in terms of tokens. Video going a bit longer than planned, but let's take a look at what Chat GPT was telling me to do this week. Or actually, if I go in and let me see if I got the right wallet connected up here. If I go in, I'm just changing it on the other screen. So if I come in here then and I go to portfolio, and I can see, so this is the live version. So portfolio looks slightly different. There's a few enhancements to this in the new version, but we're running a complete reindex of the chain on the local host at the minute. So I can't show you that one. The prices are a bit behind. You can see for the week, it is down a good bit in terms of where we were last week. We were in around 1,000 data for asset value when this started last week. So if you look at Snek, we had 358 into it, down to 304. Min up to 244, Lenfi down to 207, and WMT still in around that 200 ADA, and that's where we were originally when I originally put 200 ADA into WMT maybe 2 weeks ago now at this point. So when I fed ChatGPT all of the trades this week and I fed it the portfolio, what it looks like, it gave all the analysis. I won't go through it this week. Once I bring some more automation into this and bring in the option for it to pull some of the updates for projects outside of just the charts, then we'll start reading a bit more of the analysis at that point, because that's when it starts to get interesting, when it mixes not just the charts and candle patterns, but also mixes in some of the fundamentals and what's going on there. So the final portfolio, actually it did give me a portfolio up here. It originally said Snek, Min, WMT and AGIX were the recommendations up here. And then let me see the last screenshot. Oh yeah, so I'd given it the wrong portfolio. But first off, the final portfolio was Snek, Min, AGIX, Indy and Kopi were the recommendations. So the likes of AGIX is something there that has a lot going on the fundamental side, but ChatGPT doesn't know that right now. So I did tell it then that WMT have hinted at positive news coming out over the next while. There was a post this morning I seen someone asking, was that all the WMT news we were going to get? And Mickey put in a comment just saying no. So I'm waiting to see. I told ChatGPT there was expectation of something coming. So it did revise its analysis then and said what we should do is keep holding Snek, Min, WMT and bring in AGIX. So sell off Lenfi and bring in AGIX. So that's what I'm going to do after this call or after this recording. See where it sits next week, and there'll be lots more videos this week and live stream tonight with the guys. Looking forward to that. If you got questions, let me know down below and I will talk to you soon.